All right. So our next question is in upper body return to sport testing, looking at upper quarter Y balance test and closed kinetic chain upper extremity stability test, doing those, at the same time, what do they tell us? Do we need to do them both, or is one replacement for the other? What does that look like? I think part of the thing, one of the ways I like to look at the upper extremity closed kinetic chain stability test is that's kind of like agility for the upper extremity. That is being able to move in a time period over a fixed distance. So it's an agility test. The problem with that test, though, is there's not a large range in your ability to score. So you have a very small window of knowing what's good. Now, again, it is a component, but it's not as big a component to me. The other thing is I would rather see a test. I'm not big on modifying tests, but
Mhm.
that is, a standard width, and not everybody fits that width. And so we're really biasing people with longer wingspans and shorter wingspans, maybe not the right direction there. So I consider that the agility test of the upper extremity. It's important. But there's a lot of things that I think are essential before that. And the one would be, let's see how we can do at our limit of stability. So let's see how on the upper quarter Y balance test, I am reaching there. Now that's more of a controlled motion. That's more, requiring, stability, at your limits of your mobility, which is certainly different. Upper quarter, upper extremity stability test, again, is that kind of quick movement and kind of tells me, do I have that more agility with it? So I don't know if that helps answer that question or if that's what you're looking for.
No, it definitely does. I can, and for sure, the agility side of things, right, for the upper extremity, and to your point of just the in ranges of your mobility with the Y balance quarter, I thought that was a good point related to the wingspan from the difference, just
Yeah.
bio mechanical or anthropometric side of things. So
Absolutely.
I've been able to use the um, closed chain, again, the stability test from like labor repair or
Yeah.
slap or something like that. But I just was curious to see, like, again, obviously clinical side of things, right? But
Yeah,
at
it's a
what point?
domain. It's a domain of testing, but it's not. I think again, it almost goes back to asking, like, if I were to have to say which would I rather have if I could only have one, which I'm not a huge fan of that because I don't think that's the real world that I only can have one. But if
Yep.
I were to look at something, it's like, man, I would rather have my trunk stability push up or my upper quarter Y balance test before I, get to that closed kinetic chain stability test. I mean, because that's like, it does, that tells me something, but it almost looks a little bit more like training to me,
Yep.
agility training. But again, in the lower extremity, we should be testing agility. So this gives us a little window into it. Maybe not perfect, but nothing is. So
Right. Right. No, it's definitely, like you said, it's another way to get objective measurements, at least, and that has standards, right? So
right.
I appreciate the answer, and hopefully the question came across appropriately.
I
So
did it. Totally
um,
made sense.